Not to be dramatic, but I think posting on Pinterest can change your life. I mean, it definitely improved mine, and I'm not even posting there nearly as much as I should be. A lot of people think that Pinterest is for mindless vibes over business building content, but that is not the case. Don't get me wrong, the vibes are immaculate, but the potential of the platform extends far beyond that, to the point that I think that every creator, every brand, entrepreneur, business owner should be active on the platform. In fact, I just got back from an incredible trip to Toronto where Pinterest Canada invited me to share why it is that I believe in them so deeply and to share it to an audience of top creators and leading Canadian brands. What? And I'm not a massive creator, so the fact that Pinterest found little old me should tell you how much potential there is to be discovered on the platform. And so because so many people came up to me after our fireside chat to say that I made something click for them in their understanding of the platform and its potential, I thought, why not come on here and see if I can make it click for a few more people. So in this video, I'm going to share a little bit more about my journey with the platform, why I think it's the place to be for creators, and then why I think that brands and more traditional entrepreneurs and business owners need to be present on it. First, let's talk about how I got started on the platform, because I get it. Pinterest creators are not the first thing that come to mind when you think about how to be a successful creator in this day and age. So I've been creating content online for a while, starting with a natural hair blog back in 2016. I was trying to figure out how to drive traffic to my website when my dad, who had a few websites of his own under his belt, sent me a webinar all about how bloggers were using Pinterest to explode their growth. It was one of those time-sensitive live webinars that probably wasn't even live. And I remember being out to dinner with my family, watching it with headphones in, hooked. It was then and there that I realized that Pinterest wasn't just for random vibes. It was the platform that people turned to when they wanted to seek out specific vibes. It made me understand that people turned to Pinterest when they were seeking out inspiration, motivation, education around something specific. People open Pinterest with a goal in mind. To put it shortly, I realized that it's a search engine for visually inspired people. And knowing this is what unlocks all the potential of this platform. From there, I started creating more strategically, optimizing my content so that it would reach the people who were searching for it, leading to astronomical reach and a surge of traffic to my blog. Then as Pinterest continued to evolve, investing more in video and idea pins, which drive a lot of on-platform traffic, I began to leverage those formats for brand deals, the same way one might work with a brand on more traditional social media platforms. And then with time, the unthinkable began to happen. I somehow ended up getting on Pinterest's radar and ended up working with them on a number of really cool projects. I've been a part of Pinterest Presents some way or another for the past 3 years. Maybe I shouldn't say that because they'll realize how many times they've used me and they'll realize, oh, that's too much. I've worked with them to help spread awareness on their curl pattern tool, and I was part of their Pinterest creator class of 2021, which was actually one of the biggest catalysts in my decision to quit my 9-to-5 and take content full time. So let's pivot this and make it a little bit less about me. Opportunities aside, why do I love creating on Pinterest so much? I actually have two sides to my answer to this, the business side and the personal. On the business end, Pinterest has revolutionized my reach. When you create on other platforms, it can often feel like the amount of labor you put into it does not meet the payoff. If your content isn't performing in that first day, it's not going to perform. Because Pinterest is at its core this visual search engine, the content that you post on it is evergreen. It lasts seemingly forever. At the very least, your content will be showing up for people as long as it is useful to them and as long as somebody is searching for that topic. And because of this, my efforts never really feel wasted. And I can trust that if I'm doing the work to serve my community, if I am making sure my content is inspiring them or providing solutions to the problems they might have, and I'm optimizing my content to make sure it's clear to Pinterest what my content is about, I can be pretty confident that it will reach my people eventually. And again, on that side of saving time, I can actually repurpose content I've posted on other platforms for Pinterest. In fact, I would say 95% 5% of the content I post on Pinterest has been repurposed from elsewhere. So I'm able to give new life to the work I've already done and have that work continue to serve me, get me more reach, potentially make me more money long into the future. And this reach has a really cool way of having a ripple effect on other platforms. So many of my Instagram followers have let me know that they originally found me from Pinterest. And my relationship with these followers runs so deep because if they found me on Pinterest, it probably means that my content helped them through some sort of life stage, no matter how big or small. Whether that's helping them figure out what color box braids to put in next, or literally helping them decide on a wedding hairstyle. Like, it's such a cool way to be involved in people's lives. Then on the personal side, like how it makes me feel to create on Pinterest. First, the positivity of the platform. By nature, it's just such a positive, motivational, inspirational place. There are no trolls. I have had extremely viral content on Pinterest, and I've never got a hate comment. I always know when something on Instagram or TikTok has gone viral because I start getting the hate. It's like this double-edged sword that a lot of creators are used to, where we kind of brace ourselves when something starts to blow up because we know that the moment it reaches people outside of our community, it's probably gonna turn nasty. But I don't have that same fear when creating on Pinterest. The bigger something gets, the more excited I can genuinely feel because I know it's truly reaching more of the people who want to see it, who will benefit from it. And all of this positivity isn't by accident. Pinterest is incredibly intentional about keeping it this safe space. They have creators on the platform sign this creator code pledge saying that you're not going to be posting negative content, harmful content. You're not posting about like diet culture, body shaming. I actually found out the other day that they've done studies where when people say they are doing like social media detoxes and they're deleting their apps, they're not deleting Pinterest. They're not considering that a toxic place feeding into like the negativity of their lives. I also find that when I open up the platform, I am truly motivated and inspired versus paralyzed with comparison. I am so guilty of doom scrolling on other platforms, and I'm seeing people that I am technically inspired by, like fellow creators that I admire and want to emulate what they do. But the nature of these platforms, with the metrics being super upfront and being the focus, I find myself just always thinking like, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I be like them? I'm not gonna be able to post anything as good as that. And instead of just getting off my butt and creating, I just keep scrolling and just getting deeper in a hole of despair. And with Pinterest, the numbers aren't super in your face. The metrics aren't there for everybody to see and judge you on. The content you see doesn't feel like it's saying something negative about you. It's not a platform where you are comparing successes. So why should brands have a content strategy on the platform? And creators, do not tune out here thinking it's just for brands, because understanding and being able to articulate the benefit to them is what has allowed me to pitch Pinterest successfully as an add-on to existing brand partnerships. So there are a few ways that brands can leverage the power of Pinterest. First, of course, posting organically the same way a creator would, doing the work to create great visual assets, optimizing their pins, their boards, their profile so that the content shows up in search. Then there's leveraging paid ads with their own assets or boosting collaborations with creators. And speaking of collaborations with creators, brands can tap into influencer or creator marketing the same way one would on any other platform. And I'm gonna share why I think it can be an even better investment than doing campaigns elsewhere. First, as we've discussed, the longevity of the content. Timeless content can drive brand awareness long term, making that initial investment feel minuscule. Brands can also reach customers at a more intentional stage of their journey. You're not surprising them on their TikTok feed where you now have 5 seconds to hook them and convince them that this is the product for them. On Pinterest, they are already in the mindset to discover. They are looking for solutions around specific topics, and you just have to position yourself as the best answer. And when it comes to working with creators who are already active on Pinterest, they tend to have a more unique understanding of their audience. Because being successful on the platform requires a much different skill set than it does on others. Because again, it's not about shocking or wowing or using sensationalism to convince people to make impulsive purchases. It's about earnestly presenting options and solutions to people who are already seeking guidance on something. At the talk, I was actually asked about a successful partnership I had done on the platform, and I gave an example of one with CoverGirl. Yes, the goal of the partnership was to highlight their great products, but the idea pin was framed as a skincare solution for low-maintenance girlies. Another favorite of mine had been easy winter skincare routines, which just happened to feature CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skincare. It worked because we led with a solution that people were interested in, or a search query that people were likely to be typing in. On the opposite end, I've had some brand deals where they just wanted me to repost my TikTok or Instagram to Pinterest just as it was, and understandably, those didn't do so well. It's important to understand that while Pinterest is absolutely the place for repurposing your existing content, I recommend taking the time to repurpose the assets to make it make sense for the platform. At the very least, leading with a title that is likely to capture the interest of intentional searchers. I am just so incredibly grateful for how Pinterest has impacted my creator journey. It's grown my business, helped me reach new communities, given me such a surge in confidence with all of the opportunities, and overall, they've made me feel seen. I hope that this has inspired you to take the platform a little bit more seriously, and if it has, watch this next. Thanks for watching, and until next time. How many times did I say Pinterest in this video? The first person to count and comment below, I don't know. I'll do something nice for you.